In this video, we will be discussing how to make a print from the map on the GIS viewer. Firstly, let's go open our print widget. Once the print widget is opened, you'll be shown the print template screen where you can change the title of the map. You can choose the type of template from A0 landscape all the way down to A4. So you can choose which template you want to use. Do you want to use a template with no legend, with a legend, with a built-in zoning? Do you want the template to be in landscape or portrait? And the size, do you want it to be A0, A1, A2, A3, or A4? As default, the template is A4. You also have the opportunity to change the file format from a PNG file, which is an image, to a PDF. When you're in the PDF, you can also have advanced options, such as you can print for your current map extent, the current map scale. You can change some layout options to include the north arrow or not. You can change your scale by unit, and then you can also change your print quality, your DPI. DPI is dots per inch. So the higher your dots per inch, the higher the quality of your print. Let us create a print of the property layer. So if we go to our Layers tab, notice that in the layers, there is printing labels. So let's switch off our property information. Let's switch off our street numbers, and let's switch off our wards and our boundaries. And let's make sure that the printing labels is the only selected group. If I click on the printing labels and I collapse the group, I can also see now that there's printing labels for registered property, SG approved properties, street numbers, as well as the street names. So if we look at our map now, we still have street names on the map. So what we can do is we can alternatively just change our base map to, say, for example, a light gray base map. Alright. Or we can just use the imagery without any labels. Then alternatively, we can also switch on our street name labels, so the street names come up. And then we can just proceed back to our print widget. We can give a title to our map. So let's just say, for example, CPD area. All right. And we're going to keep it, we're going to change it now to A4. So notice now when I change my template, I'm going to have to change my title again. So let's just change it to A4 landscape, no legend. And notice now, as I mentioned, you will have to change your title. So it's just called CPD area. All right. We're going to also change our file format to PDF, as PDF would be the standard for most Brits. We're going to keep our printing extent to the current map extent, so that's not necessary. And we're going to also keep our dots per inch or our print quality to 120. So we can close our advanced tab, and then we can also preview our print extent. So that shows us what's the preview of our print. You can switch that off, and then we can click print. Notice now in our print result, the print is being developed. Once our print has fully completed, you will notice now that there will no longer be a circle showing that the print is still busy being developed. The print has now been completed. You can then click on the print. It will then open a new tab, and then you would see your print layout as you wanted it. You can then alternatively download it. You can also print it. And then there's also more options in other PDF readers, such as Adobe and Firefox. So let's just download this print for now. Once we've downloaded the print and we've opened it in a suitable PDF reader, such as Adobe Acrobat Reader, we can then view the print. We can zoom in, we can zoom out, and then a new functionality which has been built into the print service is that we can switch on and off the layers. So if we click on the layers, we now see a layer list such as the GIS viewer. We can switch off text, we can switch off the scale, and we can also take away the scale bar. Alternatively, under the web map frame, we can go switch on labels on and off. So say, for example, we're going to switch the street names off. There goes the street names. If we want to switch off the street numbers, we can switch the street numbers off. And if we want to switch the labels off for the properties, we can switch them off. So now we can just view the boundaries. So that's how we switch the labels off. We can switch all the labels also off by switching the entire group off. And then under the web map, we can now switch off the actual feature. So if I can switch off the feature over there, I can, if I got my world imagery, I can switch my imagery away. So there's the imagery is gone. And now I can add my labels again just to see how it is. And then I can switch on my imagery. So that was a print for a small area. Let's, for example, do a print for a larger area. So what we'll do is, firstly, we'll go to our layers and we'll switch on both imagery layers over here. So we have our Ortho Photos 2020 and our Ortho Photos 2018. And we're going to do this because when we go to the PDF's layers, we can then alternate between the two imagery layers. Right, so let us keep our imagery on. And now let us go to our print again. And now we're going to keep our title as CBD area. But remember, once again, when we increase the size of our template, our title will change back to default. So let's say, for example, we are going to create a print of an A0 without a legend. So let's use an A0 landscape, no legend. And once again, our file format as PDF. Right? And it's going to be quite a big print. So let's shoot up the print quality to like 300. And let us close our advanced tab. And then we can click print to create a print for a much larger area. Please note that a larger area will take a larger time for the print to be finished. Once again, once our print is completed, we can then click on our print or open in a new window, and I'll notice that the area is much larger. And once again, we can download our print and then open it with a desired PDF reader. And once it's opened in our PDF reader, we can now zoom in quite far. So zoom in 800%. We can zoom down so we can see the actual extent of the properties. We can then zoom all the way out. Okay. And now once again, we can go and switch layers on and off. But remember, this time we added the Ortho Photos of 2018. So now we can switch off 2020, which is being shown, and then that's 2020. So now in the PDF, you can distinguish between the two layers, and you can switch layers on and off. So if you, for example, want to print a map with the 2018 photos, you can now print this map. And if you want to add the 2020 Ortho Photos above that, you can then simply just switch it on in the layer list. If you want to switch all the different layers off, such as the property and the street names and labels, simply just once again switch your labels off, switch your properties, and then you just have your Ortho Photos. If you don't want any of your Ortho Photos showing and just a base map or a blank base map, you can simply just switch it off and then just blank. And then when I switch on my registered property, I can see my property state. And when I switch on my labels, I can then see my different labels.